Hey there, my name is Benjamin, CEO and founder here at Bolt Deals, and today I'm going to be revealing the exact playbook as to how we help one of our clients, David, close a $70,000 deal while being a part-time wholesaler, all in the span of 65 days. With that said, let's go ahead and dive straight in. First off, a little bit about us. Over the last 4 years of me running Bolt Deals, we generate a little over $15 million in assignment fees, and currently we have wholesalers that do anywhere from 2 to 3 deals per month on the low end to as many as 40 deals per month on the high end, bringing in a little over $500,000 per month in assignment fees. And today, I'm going to be showing you the proof behind this entire process as to how we did it. That means the results as well as the KPIs behind it. I'm also going to be showing you our exact strategy, why it works, what to do versus what not to do, as well as our reasoning behind all of this, as well as takeaways and action items that you can go away from this video and implement yourself. With that said, let's go ahead and dive straight in. Today's December 12th, so let's see how long it takes to get this video up. But this actually happened November 13th, 2024. And as you can see down here, David, who is in the Army based off of his uniform, told us that he locked up a deal for $75,000 and he's going to assign it for $145,000, which is a $70,000 assignment fee while doing this part-time. Down here, you can see a screenshot of his Google Ads account because that's the platform we ran it on. But what's more important are the KPIs here. So I don't want to go over the entire thing, but the biggest things is ad spend is $4,920, which you can see it right here. So that breaks down to a daily ad spend of about $180. That's how many we got: 36 leads, 13 appointments set, and out of that, one of them became a deal. And the deal obviously is the $70,000 assignment fee. The cash conversion cycle on this deal was 65 days. The return on ad spend, and if you don't know what return on ad spend means, it basically means how much money you get out for the amount of ad spend you put in, right? It's similar to return on investment. So if you put in $1, in this case, if David put in $1, he was getting a 14.2x return on his money. You put in $1 and get out 14.2, $14.20, right? So that's really healthy. Transparently for us, we try to aim to have all of our clients to receive a minimum of a 3x return on investment. The platform is PPC. These right here are the markets he was in. So as you can see, it was virtual. I'm going to go as to why we went virtual and why it's better if you're doing inbound marketing later in this video. Like I said here, property got under contract for $70,000. The assignment fee is $140,000. Cost per deal is about almost $5,000, right? So if you want to pause it, look through this, take a screenshot, do whatever you want, right? But moving forward, I want to mention something really important. And this is where so many investors get it wrong, right? They have the common misconception that if you go broad and go into many markets, it gets more expensive. And that common sense, that's at least what people think, right? It kind of makes sense. More markets, you have to spend more to reach them. But the beautiful thing about PPC and Google ads, PPC and Facebook ads, is it's actually the other way around. Right? So the way we look at it is the more markets you go into, the cheaper it gets, right? Because if you give Facebook or Google the ability to reach more people by putting in more locations, the CPM or cost to reach 1,000 people, that's what CPM stands for, it goes down. And as a domino effect, everything else goes down. So your cost per click, your cost per lead, your cost per appointment, cost per deal, and your return on ad spend goes up, which is what we're aiming for here. So that's why if you're running inbound marketing, I recommend all of our clients to go virtual, right? And obviously, just because you get a deal or a contract in those virtual markets, it's only one piece of the puzzle. You'll also have to have a disposition process on the back end to actually sell and assign those deals to, or else nobody gets paid, right? So don't just go virtual for the sake of going virtual and lock up a bunch of contracts, but make sure you can actually fulfill on those contracts, because what we don't want is for sellers to come back at us and leave bad reviews, all upset, which will tarnish your entire reputation online, right? So go virtual, but make sure you can actually fulfill on the deals that you lock up. Please don't lock up deals that you don't think you can fulfill. It doesn't benefit anybody, right? I see this so commonly where a wholesaler, especially on the acquisition side, will just lock up all these contracts. The numbers are all over the place. ARVs overestimated, repairs are underestimated, and then they wonder why they have a dispo problem, right? We spoke to a wholesaler earlier this week where their contract to close was 50%. That means 50% of their deals, of their contracts, fall out, right? And then the other half will go through, right? And for us, the KPI we try to stay at is around minimum 80%, right? Contract to close rate. And the reason why I say that is you want to keep your promises to the seller, because if you don't, you lose their trust and it could possibly, like I said, tarnish your reputation. Now, that's just the marketing side, right? There's 5 main pillars that we look for and we tell our clients to have a successful marketing campaign, right? First is your market, right? Second is ad spend. If you're not spending enough, then it's going to be really hard to get the volume required to actually generate leads and close deals. The analogy I make is really simple, right? If you were to cold call, if we told you, hey, you can only cold call 10 people a day, how long do you think it's going to take to get a deal? It's going to take freaking forever, right? But if you can cold call 500 people a day, more volume, how long do you think it's going to take for you to get a deal, right? A lot quicker than if you were doing $10 a day. And the reason why I say that is inbound marketing is the exact same thing, right? The people that spend more are eventually going to get more volume, right? That's kind of how it works. It's common sense. But common sense is not so common nowadays, isn't it? Especially in the wholesaling space. Topic for another day. So that's the first 2, markets and ad spend. The next is the ad itself, the landing page, and your follow-up process, right? Your sales process to actually convert the opportunities that landed in your pipeline and convert them into a contract and then eventually a deal. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the next few pillars of our ads and landing page strategy. So this is a little flow chart that I have here that breaks down our lead flow process, right? We break it down to 3 main pillars. There's top of funnel, and if you don't know, top of funnel is cold traffic, people that have never heard about us. A second is the middle of funnel. This is people who may have heard about us and they may have clicked, but they didn't submit, right? They didn't become an actual lead and give us their contact information. They need a little bit more convincing. And then third is bottom of funnel nurturing. The way I look at this is that these are people who are already in our system and we just need to nurture them. They just need a little bit of massaging to get them to the finish line, or in this case, a closed deal. Right? So let's start with our top of funnel marketing, right? For this client, we ran PPC ads, so obviously there's no pictures. So the way it works is a seller would click on our PPC ad and they would get redirected to a landing page, right? So on PPC, there's keywords that we would run matches types to, etc., right? And whenever a seller clicks on that ad, they go to this landing page. And the way we break it down is into 3 main steps on the landing page. It's a 3-step landing page. The first is a survey opt-in, right? And this is where we set it up to get the 4 main pillars. So that's motivation, timeline, property info, asking price. And then we ask a few other questions on the side, like, is it listed? How flexible are you on your asking price? Things of that sort, right? We just want the preliminary information here. And then the second step is the property information page. We want to get context on their property, bedroom, bathrooms. You can see down here, condition of the property, year of construction, all of these, right? And then from there, they go to a calendar booking page, right? And here's the beautiful thing about this. They get the option to book an appointment on David's calendar or the acquisition manager's calendar. That way they can just go straight to the point, right? And another thing we do in addition to that is we give the sellers specifically the option to call us directly, right? And it's funny because I don't see this common at all, but when we tested it, it has drastically improved contact and connection rates, right? Because the seller, if they're in pain, they want to call somebody and speak to somebody, right? They don't want to, go through all this and wait and all that crap, right? And the sooner you can get on the phone with them, the less time they would have to, ideally, in a perfect world, shop elsewhere, right? So that's how we run our ads to generate the seller leads on top of funnel. Then we have retargeting. So some clients, not David, but because David's not on Facebook yet, but on PPC, we can run retargeting ads as well, right? And the way we do it is there's something called a pixel or Google Tag Manager, as Facebook would call it, where you could put on the website, on the landing page, where we can capture people and retarget them, right? So we create custom audiences, things like that. We can upload people, all that good stuff, and then retarget those people, right? And third is the nurture sequences. So we set up text messages, emails, and ringless voicemails to keep the seller in the loop. That way, whenever they are ready to sell, they will call us back up and we will, get on top of them, right? We'll qualify them again. We'll set them as an appointment and we'll get them to the finish line. And the beautiful thing about this is that David doesn't have to touch any of this, right? We would do all of it for him and it's fully off of his plate. So he could focus on what he does best, which is actually talking to the seller, negotiating, and pushing it to the closing table. So that's pretty much our ads and landing page funnel, right? Going back, I want to talk about what's next for JDH, which is the name of his company, and David, right? We share a common belief with all of our clients where the first lead, the first appointment, and the first deal will always be the hardest to get. But the second one, the third one, the fourth one will be just right around the corner, right? It's called the popcorn effect, right? And the easiest way, I'll make this short, but if you watch how popcorn is made, right, in the microwave, right, it takes 30 seconds or whatever for the first kernel to pop. And then right after the first one pops, the next one they all just start popping, right? So with David, what we're doing as a company is that we want to optimize and scale the ads via data attribution. So you may be wondering, what is data attribution and why is it important to wholesalers, right? Data attribution, the easiest way I'll put it is we want to find what works, where it's coming from, which ad, which creative, which keyword it's coming from. And once we identify that, we know that, okay, this is our winner, and let's scale that, right? Find what works, scale it, and turn off what's not working. And the way we do this is by optimizing for the right KPIs, right? So I want to add something on top of this. Many wholesalers are optimizing through the wrong KPIs. And it's really frustrating, right? People think that having the lowest cost per lead or the campaign, the keyword, the ad with the lowest cost per lead is the winner. It could be depending on what you're optimizing for. Are you optimizing for a volume of leads, or are you optimizing for more appointments, more contracts, more closed deals, right? So for us, we like to optimize around return on ad spend, right? You can have the lowest cost per lead in a campaign, but if it's not producing a return, if it's not getting you deals, to us, it doesn't matter, right? And you could see this, it's like beating a dead horse right now, but let's say you have two campaigns, right? The first campaign is producing $20 leads and you get 50 of them. You get 50 leads at $20 a pop and you close one deal, right? Or you can get another campaign that is generating you $500 cost per leads and you get 2 leads and you close one deal, right? So which one? Technically ROAS is still the same because you're still spending $1,000. But the point I'm trying to make is that most people would rather select option 2. Why? Because it's less work. Right? So that's how we optimize campaigns and results for our clients. So that's first thing. We want to scale ads, get more lead flow, more quality lead flow. And the way we define this, AMB, as measured by more MQLs. What's the MQL, you ask? The way we look at MQLs is it's basically a marketing qualified lead, right? A seller who's distressed, has a pain point, looking to sell in 90 days or less, etc. Right? Everybody has a different MQL criteria. That's ours. The next thing we're going to do for David is we want to hire an acquisition manager via our talent acquisition framework. So I'm going to show you what that looks like shortly. But the reason why we want to is to help him get his time back and removing him as a constraint as he's, like you saw, active duty military. So the way we do this is actually really simple, right? So the way we work is we're going to license our acquisition framework to him, right? So license our ads, license our entire playbooks, our funnels, things like that. And I'll tell you another thing. We're going to be creating another YouTube video on this shortly on how this entire process works. So you could set this up for yourself. So if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, shoot me a message on Instagram if you just want me to send this to you. And then we'll just go from there, right? So we give him, anyways, going back, we give them our entire acquisition manager playbook on, hiring criteria, interview frameworks, onboarding, lead manager scripts, what to do to prevent burnout, beginning, middle, end of day processes, objection handling, etc. So that's what we're going to do to help him build a team and build a company with people that actually work for him. That way he's working on the business, not inside of the business, right? So that's the second thing. And the third thing is possible JV partnerships. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to leverage other resources and expand into other avenues to generate and close deals without having to increase ad spend, right? This increases his profitability and helps him maximize his conversion rates. So with that said, that's the entire case study for David. And I want to talk about some takeaways here. So what are takeaways and some actions to items that you can actually take away from this video? First thing, time is always going to be a constraint if you let it be. At the end of the day, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. David has the same 24 hours as you, as me, as all of us, right? So if you're going to let time be a constraint, it will be a constraint. It will be a problem. It will hold you back, right? But if you are able to leverage your resources, reach out, use leverage. Like I said, leverage your resources to get ahead. It will give you a fighting chance, right? Next is going virtual is always better than staying local. Like I said earlier in this video, the more places you go into, the cheaper it gets, and the more leads, higher return on ad spend, etc. However, as a side note, if you want to stay local because it's comfortable, that's absolutely fine. But what this does is it gives your competition a helping hand. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of our client results, like we want to set every single one of our clients, and you watching this video, we want to set you guys up for success, right? Because at the end of the day, I can sit here and brag about how good we are as a company, but that is better projected when a client tells other people how good we are, right? So the success of our company is literally in the hands of our clients. So we have to do, obviously, everything in our power to make sure they get the result and are set up for success, right? Third is patience and consistency is key, right? This meme right here is the exact definition of wholesaling, in my opinion, right? People do an inbound marketing channel or any marketing channel, and they quit right before it's there. And then there's the other guy who is persistent. He's staying consistent, not giving up, and eventually he's going to get the diamonds or gold or whatever, right? In this case, it's money, profits, right? Going back, popcorn effect, right? Like I said earlier, the first deal is always going to be the hardest to get. Then the rest will come. I don't want to say easy, but easier, right? So let's go ahead and correct that right now because nothing in this business is easy. We all know that, right? Next. Or I should say last, the most valuable things you have is your time and attention and the opportunities in your pipeline. Treat them all with an amount of respect and allocate your resources, your time, your attention accordingly, right? A good question to ask yourself is what you're doing right now in your business, is that getting you closer to your goals, right? Is it actually moving the needle in the business? Because your website, as cool as it is to have one, could it help you get deals? Sure. Is it really going to push the needle? No, right? And a lot of the work and the results we want is behind the work that we don't want to do, right? Making that phone call to the seller, right? Negotiating, having to renegotiate the deal because you ran the numbers wrong or whatever, having to fire an acquisition manager because the dude's burning up all your leads, all of that, right? So I want to leave you with that, right? And again, if David could do it being a part-time wholesaler, close to $70,000 assignment fee, which is 700% times the industry average of $7,000 to $10,000 assignment fees. So with that said, that's all I have for this one. If you want to get similar results to David, find me in Instagram, click the link below, schedule a call. I'd love to speak with you. But again, my name is Benjamin. I look forward to speaking with you soon, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.